Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mosley. The chat is up and running. How's everybody doing today? Ready, willing, and able for the holidays? I am. I've got shopping done. I'm ready to go. Shopping was easy for me. I send my kids money. So what's on your mind today, people? What do you guys want to talk about? Afternoon Chat. It's a free show, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The guest stars of the show are the people in the chat room. They determine what we talk about, as long as they stay within the community guidelines established by YouTube. There's no set topics, no hidden agenda, okay? No midstream ads, no commercials, no sponsors. I'm not trying to tackle your wallet. I'm not coming out with a line of merch. I'm not running for political office, okay? That's the rest of the world that's on the greed bandwagon. That's not me. I'm here to meet people, find out what's on their mind, give them a chance to speak their piece. Voicing your opinion. That's what I'm giving you a chance to do. So if you've ever wanted to talk to your TV, golden opportunity, 5 days a week. What do you guys want to discuss? If nobody gets in the chat, we're stuck with wherever my mind wanders, and who knows where it's going to go. Right now, I'm thinking about the Lions, pro football, NFL. I believe there's a Saturday game, but it's not the Lions. The Lions will play on Sunday at 4:25. They're taking on the Steelers. Well, the Lions have painted themselves into a corner right now, in my opinion. They have to win out and hope other teams lose in order to make the playoffs. Not a good position to be in. Well, they've been hit by the injury bug for the second year in a row. The defensive secondary is missing in action. They call it the Legion of Whom because every time they make a tackle, you don't know who the heck those guys are. You've never heard their names. I think they got a chance, but I mean, it's mathematical. They're not having a great season. They're having a mediocre season. They need to get lucky in order to make the playoffs, and then who knows how far they can go. Personal opinion, that's all I can offer you from my end of the couch here. I looked at the analytics last night briefly. Channel's doing good. It's moving forward. I think we just hit 40 subscribers. And I think we're around, 220 viewing hours, something like that. A long way to go. Well, I'm just trying to be reliable, trying to be dependable. Make sure that the channel's here every day so when people are ready to talk, they can. Monday through Friday, 3 to 5. That's 10 hours a week. I have no structure. There's no format to the show. I mean, this is it. There's no script. Yeah, I'm a cigarette smoker. That's your proof that I'm not AI. I haven't ever seen an AI image of someone smoking. Have you? I think AI is a little bit overblown right now. They're trying to think that it's better than it is. Don't get me wrong, I have no doubt that it's going to improve. 5 years from now, it'll be amazing compared to what it is today. I have no plans to use AI at all on this channel. Doesn't interest me. I prefer to talk to real people. Different parts of the world got different priorities. They got different things on their plate. They're dealing with different things. So let's find out what's on your mind today. What are you thinking about? I did watch the news this morning. It's kind of depressing. Well, I'm specifically talking about the whole Rob Reiner thing. Clearly, the substance abuse and mental illness of their son, Nick, is it's just horrific, gruesome. We have mental health issues in the United States. I think that there's a lot of people that have been radicalized. I think there are a lot of people that need counseling. I got no issues with people getting counseling. I like it. I think that's a wise decision on their part. I've been in counseling in my past. I'm not currently, but I have been in my past. After my third divorce, I put myself in counseling for 1.5 years. I wanted to find out what was going on. Why am I divorced 3 times? Never been in a divorce court. Never hired a divorce attorney. That's my story. What's yours? I still care about all my ex-wives. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to argue. I love them. I just love them like sisters. Well, just because they didn't like me doesn't mean they aren't good people. Maybe I'm too tolerant. Evidently, I'm the only tolerant person in this country. Well, I've been online talking about being more tolerant, live and let live. That's what I see when I watch the news is people aren't getting along anymore. They're separating into their own little tribes. They're being controlled and manipulated by the media, in my opinion. I mean, feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. If you're having trouble with the chat, you need to go to youtube.com and download the Discord app. I believe it's free. Then you're going to need to use a second device, so your phone, tablet, laptop, some type of computer. I've been told that the newest TVs, the newest smart TVs, have the ability to chat, and you can use your TV remote, but I haven't seen it. And I'm not asking anyone to go out and buy a new TV. I'm not asking anyone to buy anything. What's on your mind? What do you guys want to talk about? We've got, 8 days before Christmas, something like that? Yeah, 2025 is almost over. Here in the United States, the economy is not in a good position. It's not good at all. Hopefully, we've got lots of room for improvement next year. Hopefully 2026 will be better than 25 was. The inflation rate, it's high. We don't know exactly how high. Well, our Exalted Hot Dog is having them cook the books. They're not giving us real numbers. I'm not even sure the Exalted Hot Dog gets to see real numbers. They could be lying to him. Welcome. I thought you were on swing shift this week, brother. Glad to see you got out. For those of you that don't know Up, he's a fine human being. A good friend of the show. As you can see, he's number one. He's got the crown. Hey, I worked my way up in the casino business, got all the way to casino shift manager, and I thought I'd have it made. Every 8 months, they changed our shifts, changed our casinos. They rotated us every 8 months. 8 months you'd be on graveyard, 8 months you'd be on swing, 8 months you'd be on days. All three at a different casino with a different group of 400 to 500 employees underneath you. I thought it was ridiculous, but I could see their point. They wanted to be able to plug and play. Somebody had a traffic accident. They were going to be, messed up for a week or something and not into work, or somebody took a vacation. They could just take any shift manager and plug them into any spot and be covered. It made sense, but it wasn't fun. Within every 2-year period, you worked 3 different casinos, 3 different shifts. Well, that's a good vacation there. That's a good holiday break. You're talking about 2 weeks, right? Good for you. Anytime you can break your routine for 2 weeks, and not end up filing bankruptcy, I think that's a good thing. A little bit of change makes you appreciate what you have. Too much change is chaos, but a little bit of change can show you how good you've actually got it, in my opinion. I'm going to stay home for Christmas Day, watching football. That's my plan. There are 3 games that day. I'm probably going to watch at least 2. One being the Lions, of course. Well, you can't really judge what change is bad and which is good until you have gotten all the way through it, right? Hindsight's 2020, right? I mean, that's what they say. I've been changing some stuff with the show, but I'm basically in a routine now. Been doing this for about, well, almost 4 months. I love a routine, man. That's how I stayed in the gaming industry 33 years. I love a routine. I'm a creature of habit. I'll admit it. You can have spontaneity on your days off, but for your work week, routine is good. Yeah, sometimes you can see things are going downhill. That's when you react. You make changes of your own. Don't just suffer everyone else's changes that they're implementing. Implement your own changes. Turn the tables on them. I remember instances in my life where I was comfortable, but I knew I needed to make a change. That's when you got to sit back and look at your options. View your options and weigh them. Set your priorities. Then short-term and long-term goals, right? Short-term goals, when you achieve them, small rewards. Long-term goals, when you achieve them, larger rewards. Whenever you do something right, don't forget to give yourself kudos. Pat yourself on the back once in a while. I think the human spirit needs that. My personal opinion as an older man, I feel like I probably didn't celebrate my accomplishments as much as I should have. A human being, the older you get, the more value you get, in my opinion. All that life experience, work experience, it changes who you are. It makes you wiser. I wouldn't know if I'd consider myself to be a thinker. I guess maybe to a certain extent. But there are certain aspects in life that you can overthink. That's why you need some reward when you do good. Yeah, I smoke pot right after, I mean, within 5 minutes of the end of this stream, I will light a bowl. I'm in Michigan. Marijuana is legal here. Well, as legal as it can be. I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything illegal wherever they're at. But in Michigan, recreational marijuana passed a few years back, and now it's just a given. There's a dispensary on every other corner. It did drive the price of marijuana down. And it is getting taxed. So the state is making money off of it. I consider it just another sin tax, like the tax on beer or the tax on tobacco. No different. Well, I don't really buy very much marijuana. I have, I guess, connections. So I'm more likely to try a friend's weed and think that it's good, and I'll just give him $40 and say, give me $40 worth. I'm not the average guy. You know what I mean? I do go to the dispensary once in a while to check them out, but I don't retain any of their pricing structure. I know that, I can go to this dispensary and buy one pre-rolled joint for $3 or one pre-rolled joint for $4, something like that. I'm more inclined to plant my own next spring. They're really pretty much a low maintenance plant. As long as they got water and sunlight, you're pretty much good. I'm not sure how many grams. I would think maybe 1 to 2. As long as you've got adequate water and sunlight, I think it pretty much grows. I mean, it's a weed, right? There are a lot of people that spend a lot of time growing that, but I think it's starting to get commercialized now that it's been legalized. The commercialized plants are going to be all grown indoors pretty much, I think. They'll do them in greenhouses. Well, it gives them better controls. But yeah, I'll buy if I smoke some with somebody and I like what they've got, I'll ask them where they got it. In Michigan, yeah, you can indoor grow, you can outdoor grow. They have some restrictions on it. Like the amount that you can grow and that kind of stuff too. Which, to me, part of that makes no sense. You're going to restrict what I grow, but It's not what I grow, it's what I harvest, right? The amount that I harvest, if they want to restrict that, that would make more sense. But who's to say I don't lose that plant 2 months in? Yeah, the automatics are one way to go. But if you've got land, you could do an outdoor crop, and one plant could be as big as 2 plants that were grown indoors easily. Exactly. Some of the outdoor ones, I've seen them grow and they're 7 foot tall and 10 foot in circumference. And I think that plant is, probably pulling down, 6 ounces, 7 ounces. Whereas an indoor automatic is going to get you basically 1 ounce for one plant, right? But if you're living somewhere in the United States that is restricting, I would suggest you move somewhere that it's legal, where they just leave you alone. As long as you pay your taxes like you're supposed to, the government here should leave you alone. Yeah, the bigger plants, they have to scrog in order to keep them from falling over. While sunlight is free to an extent, you still got to pay for the land. Well, I think some growers are control freaks and they want to be on top of everything. And I think other growers, they just go out in the wilderness, clear a patch of briars away and plant, irrigate, and walk away. And they don't come back for 3 months. If you come back and you've got mature plants, you harvest. If they're gone, they're gone. They didn't make it. Out in California, I hear that they have a lot of people trying to grow on public land, like within the national parks and that kind of stuff. But now that it's, becoming more popular and legalized, I think in 25 states, 24 states, it's basically 50% of America. You do have some states that are kind of, rednecky, and they want to keep on locking people up for marijuana. To me, that's a waste of public resources. Well, it costs, $30,000 to put a guy in jail for a year minimum. That's what it costs the government. The state has to pay that to house that individual. That's a waste of money when you're talking about marijuana. You got to keep in mind that human beings have been using hallucinogens since the beginning of human beings. The pharaohs in Egypt were high as kites. Since the beginning of time, man has taken hallucinogens. At some point, society has to just throw up their hands and say, okay, We're done being assholes about this. Do whatever you want to do. Leave us alone. Like and subscribe if you could. That will help this show get on the air, or stay on the air, I should say. It is a free show, but I do need the channel to get monetized eventually. Okay. YouTube says we're doing fine. The word they're using is great. So I believe them. But they do make a note and tell me that I got to ask people to like and subscribe. I'm not real good at that stuff because, I don't think about it. Well, the only thing positive I can say is it is free. Okay. Doesn't cost you anything. So I've been watching YouTube for years, and it's just recently that I've started liking and subscribing. I'd say over the last 2 years. So I watched for at least 5 years without liking and subscribing anything. My attitude was pretty blasé till I got into the business with a podcast, and I'm like, oh, that crap's kind of important. So I am starting to like and subscribe to more. Now the hard part is I don't chat on a lot of the shows that I watch. I just not used to interacting with my TV. I think, in my opinion, interactive TV is where we're headed. If you want to talk to your TV, I'm here. Okay. But in the next 5 years, I expect the amount of people in the chat to double, maybe triple. I've looked at some of the successful shows, and it appears that the more they interact with the chat, the more successful they are. From the surface, that's what I see. I watch a lot of Tom Grassi. I probably see 90% of his content, maybe more. But I've really only, chatted with him a half a dozen times over the years. I'm more likely to chat with Mike Kimber. He does a Lions channel. Whenever I catch him on a live stream, I always chat with him. He and I have a lot of common ground. We're both in Southwest Michigan. We're both Lions fans. He's a single father. I'm a single father. A lot of common ground. I think that's what it's going to turn out to, is you're going to watch things on TV, and the more you identify with the people you're watching on TV, I think the more you're going to interact with them. Personal opinion. I mean, I could be all wet here, Feel free to jump in the chat and straighten me out if you know the facts. All I can offer is the perspective I see from my end of the couch here. This perspective I see, interactive TV, is on the rise, which is why I've created the show. Hopefully, within the next year or so, I'll get my media company monetized on YouTube, and I can start other projects and do other shows as well. But I always plan to keep this show free. This show came about because I was a table games dealer in Vegas. And over the course of 3 decades, I got used to meeting people every week. People from all over the planet. And I liked it. Then I retired and I missed all that interaction with people. So I started looking for an open chat. And then I had trouble finding open chat. There's chat, but it's structured. Oh, we're only about this subject or only about that subject. So I created the channel with an open chat, and I'm going to allow the people in the chat to dictate what we talk about. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just a placeholder here. The stars of the show are the people in the chat. Once we get the chat populated with, more than 10 or 20 people, well, then we can hold polls and do all kinds of fun stuff. But for right now, it's kind of quiet. The only thing you got to do to chat is get that Discord app. Once you have it, it's real easy to chat. But I don't care what we talk about. We can talk about recipes for all I care. I'm not going to put my thumb on the scale and say, oh, we only can talk about growing marijuana, or we can only talk about politics, or we can only talk about raising kids. I'm not going to do it. I don't care what you guys want to talk about. And if I don't know what we're talking about, I'll tell you. Hopefully you guys can educate me, keep my mind sharp. Hey, I need to have a sharp mind. Growing old is a bitch. Okay. I have these senior moments that they're just freaky. You have no idea. I had one a couple of years ago that scared the hell out of me. I was running errands. I went to the bank to make a deposit. And I'm telling you, I drove 10 miles to a branch of the bank. I got there to make my deposit and realized I had forgotten my wallet. I got back in the car. I'm driving home. The next thing I know, I'm in a gas station. I pulled up to the pump. I got out of the car to pump gas. And I realized I had forgotten my wallet again. It had only been 10 minutes since I was at the bank. How senile can you get? Talk about a senior moment. It scared the hell out of me. How can you forget what you just remembered you previously forgot? I thought I was going insane. Well, I went home. I got my wallet. I went back to the bank. I went back to the gas station. I got my errands done, but I'm starting to think, and I'm like, holy shit, am I losing it here? And that was a couple of years back. So I'm depending on the people in the chat to actually keep me sharp. Straighten me out when you see me going astray here. Pull me back into reality, will you? Talk about a senior moment. Well, in my defense, I was smoking pot. Yeah, I know. Well, I stopped. I'm not waking and baking anymore. No, now I wait until after the show. So I have not smoked at all yet today. Cigarettes, yes. Pot, no. Well, I'm glad that you're getting a vacation up. I'm glad that you're going to change up your routine. It might make you appreciate what you have. When I was in Vegas meeting all those people every week, when I used to go on vacation, I used to go into the mountains and get away from all people. I wanted to be in the wilderness and I wanted to be practically alone. It made me appreciate what I had. Especially when you get away from electricity. When you spend a couple of weeks without electricity, you really appreciate electricity when you get back. Let me tell you. Being without electricity is like living in a damn cave. Now I see why those people were drawn on walls. There was nothing to do. I enjoy meeting people, but there's a certain time when you go on vacation, you need to change things up. When you go on vacation and you change things up, you can have a greater appreciation for the comforts that you have in your everyday life that you normally take for granted. Electricity being one, running water being another, heat or air conditioning. We take a lot of stuff for granted. And we don't even realize it. In my opinion. A lot of things come into light when you go without electricity, without running water, without heat or air conditioning. It makes you appreciate what you actually have. I love electricity, but I didn't realize how much I was dependent on it until I lost electricity. It's the same thing with the internet. If you lose internet access nowadays, we are very spoiled. We lead a very spoiled life compared to what our ancestors had. We get used to those comforts and we take them for granted. You want to appreciate what you got, go live in the mountains for a couple of weeks. There's no refrigerator. You can't go get a snack. You have to go fishing. You have to go hunting. You can pack food in that'll settle you for a couple of days, but a week in, there's no refrigerator. There's no light unless you make light, right? You can't just flip a switch. And I was up in the Weminuche Wilderness in southwest Colorado, camped up on the Continental Divide. We took 10 humans and 10 horses. We packed in, we stayed for 2 weeks. It was beautiful. It was peaceful, but it was hard. Every chore you had, you wanted to drink water. Oh, you got to filter your water. Yeah. We are very, very spoiled. There's no thermostat when you're in the mountains. It's whatever Mother Nature decides to throw at you. Okay. Our ancestors had it tough. It was hard for we go to the grocery store. That's a convenience our ancestors didn't have. Hell, get on your computer and order food and have it delivered to your door nowadays. Okay. Well, it's what I talk about with towns. That's why we have cities. When human beings get together and collaborate and work together, they build bigger and better things. Life gets easier for everyone. When you have other human beings you can depend on, your life gets much easier. You can accomplish more in less time. It's all about uniting with your fellow human being. The more people work together, the easier life becomes. You don't believe me? Go up to the mountains and camp out for a week. You'll see. When no one else is there and it's just you, life gets harder. You want fire? Go cut wood. Okay? Cutting wood is not a joke. It's hard work. And fire is necessary, right? What are you guys going to do for dinner tonight? Are you going to cook? If you didn't have gas for that gas stove, you didn't have electric for that electric stove or the microwave, cooking gets a lot harder. I'm just saying, we're all spoiled whether we realize it or not. And we're all codependent on one another, whether we realize it or not. Everybody goes to work every day. That's why the system works. That's your proof. Every time the system works, it boils down to every human being going to work every day. You can rely on it. If I want to go to a restaurant for dinner, I can. I can rely on the cook, the waitress, the staff to be there. They did their job. I'm codependent on them, whether I realize it or not. Yes, it is a transaction. I am paying money for that service. I'm not saying that. But they're also codependent on me as the customer. They're relying on me to come in and pay my money for their services and their products. It's all intertwined. We're all hooked together, whether you realize it or not. You're depending on everyone in your town to do their job every day. And guess what? Proven fact, 250 years, they do it. Every human being goes to work every day. I don't care what country you live in. You can rely on it. They're not trying to be on welfare. They're not trying to find a handout. Do people have hardship at some points in their life? Yes. We've all had hardship at some point. But that hardship doesn't last forever. Every time we get right back on that wheel, okay? Every time you go right back to work, you're in there, you're doing your job, you're dependable. We rely on each other every day. If we were unreliable, our society would not work. You couldn't have food delivered to your door. You couldn't go out to a restaurant and eat. You couldn't do anything. You would have to do everything yourself. In my opinion, we're taking each other for granted. And we shouldn't. We should be applauding each other. I am so happy every one of you went to work today. I am so happy. I'm so proud of you. I know my life is not easy and comfortable without all of you people doing your job every day. My latest kick is give kudos where kudos are due. Kudos are due all over the planet. People are reliable. People are dependable. Whether you realize it or not, they are and they shall continue to be. We found more of that out during the pandemic. When everything was closed, our quality of life went down. It dropped like a rock. Quality of life was tossed out the window during the pandemic because nobody was on the job. As long as we're all on the job, everything works in our society. As long as we all go into work every day and do our jobs to the best of our ability, and this isn't just in the United States, it's global, everything works. Life is easier. We are spoiling ourselves, depending on each other, and we don't even realize it. If tomorrow you got up and there was no electricity, your life would be totally different than it was today. Totally different. If you couldn't depend on other human beings, your life would be much harder. Every time something goes the way you planned it to go, every time something worked out, it's smooth. It's smooth operation. It all worked like a charm. Yay. It's because other people did their jobs to the best of their ability every single day. That's your proof. The fact that society works. We have all these conveniences. Running water in the kitchen. It's not outside in a well. It's in the kitchen. Electricity at the flip of a switch. We are codependent whether we realize it or not. We're working together, and that's how we get all these luxuries. That's how we get all these comforts. I'll be spoiling myself at dinner tonight because of other people all doing their jobs every day. You may not think it. I know you watch the news, they'll tell you, oh, everybody's lazy. They're looking for a handout. Bullshit. Not true. It's not true. The fact that society functions and we have all these conveniences, we have all these luxuries. There would not be carpeting on your floor if the rug maker didn't go to work every day. That's your proof. Every modern convenience, every comfort in your life is proof that everyone is doing their job every day. You should be thankful. You should be respectful. I am. Tuesday morning, I went to breakfast with my family. I went to the bank. I went to the grocery store. It all worked. It all came together and I had a nice, easy time. If I'd had to get up yesterday morning and cut firewood so that I could start the fire and make my coffee, my whole day would have been different. My whole day would have been so much harder than it was. It would have been so much more of a workload on my back, on my shoulders. I respect the fact that each one of you, everybody that's seeing this video, goes to work every day. They're on the team, whether you realize it or not. I know your newscasters telling you that your neighbor's a bad guy and you can't trust him. Bullshit. The fact that our society works is your proof. You can trust him. You do trust him, even when you don't realize you're trusting him. I don't care if he works at the gas company, the electric company, the grocery store, the restaurant. You rely on him every day. You can't go to the gas station without pumping gas that somebody had to draw the oil, somebody had to refine the oil, somebody had to ship the gas, somebody had to store the gas, somebody had to sell the gas. It all works because we all work. Get used to it. Accept it. It's fact. You can rely on your fellow human beings to do their job each and every day. We are all codependent on one another. Somewhere in Somalia, there's a guy living in a grass shack that would love to have a light switch. He'd love to have a remote controlled air conditioner. He'd love to have a TV. We take these things for granted, and we shouldn't. We should respect one another, value one another. I value all human life. I don't care what country they live in. I don't care what their job title is. I value them because I know my life would not be so easy if I couldn't depend on them, if I hadn't already depended on them in the past. The stranger you don't know in your town is one of your best friends. You've been depending on him all your life. You just never took the time to meet him. Maybe you should. Maybe the next time you wave hi to your neighbor, you should think about respecting him. He does his job every day. If you didn't do your job, we wouldn't survive. If you don't get up and go to work, you don't pay your bills. If you don't pay your bills, you don't have a home. You don't have a car. You don't have any quality of life. Your entire life gets much harder. If you work every day, like all the rest of us, It makes life better for every human being. Every human being on this planet goes to work every day. You maybe some politicians telling you, oh, so-and-so's taking the year off. They want you to support them. Bullshit. Human beings have hardship. Sometimes we're at the bottom of the pile. Sometimes we're at the top of the pile. Sometimes you need help. Sometimes you're able to help others. A 20-year-old that goes to prison for stealing a car, pays his debts to society, he gets back out. He doesn't want to go back to prison. So what's he want? He wants to get a job. He wants to pay his own way. He wants to become a functioning member of society. He wants to contribute. He wants to be back on the team. He's not going to steal cars for his entire life. He's going to live till he's 80. He stole one car when he was young and he made a mistake. He paid his debt to society, and now he rejoins society. Rehabilitation, call it anything you want. Now he gets a girlfriend. He's got a job and a girlfriend. Now he's got a kid. He's got responsibilities. He's paying taxes. He's working hard. He's doing the right thing. He's making better choices than he made when he was a young man. Now he has a vested interest in society. Now he knows he's a part of the team. Open your front door and take a look around. Everybody you see, every human being you see is on the same team. We're all pulling together, whether you realize it or not. There is one race on this planet. It's the human race. We are all the same, and at the same time, we are all unique. That's my opinion. Feel free to jump in the chat and tell me where I'm wrong. Correct me. Disagree. Educate me. But I'm telling you, every human being on this planet is on the same team. We're all pulling in the same direction. We all want life to be easier for everyone. We all want to succeed. I know you don't realize it. That's because our politicians, our businesses, our greedy people are trying to tell you that you're enemies with each other. You're not. You're on the same team. You're both human beings. I don't care if you're different religions. I don't care if you're a different race. I don't care if you're a different gender. You're all human beings. You're all on the same team. You don't realize it, but you are. Because if every one of us didn't get up and do our jobs every day, our society would not function. You can't go out to dinner if the cook didn't go in and do his job. And how often do you go out to dinner? How many different cooks are you relying on? But you don't think that you're relying on them. You think it's just a business transaction. It's more. It's so much more. You need to value that cook. You need to be respectful of that cook, and you need to thank that cook. Give kudos where kudos are due. every human being's doing their part. You might be sick today. You can't make it into work. Does that mean you're a bad human being? No, it means you're normal. Human beings get sick from time to time. Be tolerant. Get past it. Cut yourself some slack. Give yourself a break. Okay? You were sick one day. You'll be back on the job tomorrow, doing the best you possibly can at your job. We all try to excel. You want to demean the dishwasher? You want to treat him bad? Oh, he's not as good as you. You're a CEO and he's just a dishwasher. I'll tell you what, when your dishwasher don't come in, that CEO is eventually, he's going to have to go do them dishes. Okay? They ain't going to do themselves. I used to be a chef. I actually quit my job as a chef because every week on my days off, they fired the dishwasher that I had hired the previous week. It pissed me off. I come in on my Monday and I got to do dishes. They weren't going to do themselves. Not only did I have to do dishes, I had to hire a new dishwasher because the one they fired had to be replaced. We're all codependent on one another. We should all respect one another. Our society works so we enjoy certain comforts. And when we enjoy those certain comforts, we should not be disrespectful of other people just because of their job title, just because of their income level. Respect that man. He's doing his job to the best of his ability. We all do. Every day. I don't care how many times they get on the news and they tell you these people are being bad. No, they're not. They're not being bad. They're normal human beings. I should not hate them. I should respect them. And I should applaud them for doing the best that they can do at their job. I know, I see the politicians, I see the news. I know they're telling you the other side is against you. They're not. You're not seeing how codependent you are on them. You're just not seeing it. Put a blinder on a horse. It can still walk. It can still pull your wagon, even though it's got blinders on and it can't see. You can't see how codependent you are on every other human being on this planet. Maybe if you did, maybe if every human being understood how codependent we are on each other, maybe people would quit lashing out at one another. United we stand, divided we fall. Keep on letting them divide you, and it will cost you. I don't care if you're different than one another. We're all unique. You need to understand and appreciate, respect each other. That's my opinion. Feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. I mean, that's what this show's all about. It's an interactive show. The people in the chat determine what we talk about. You want to change the subject? Jump in the chat. Put in a chocolate chip recipe. Some of us will write it down. We like chocolate chip cookies. Your fellow human being is not your enemy. He's not your adversary. You're on the same team. I know you don't realize it. I understand. You're like the horse with blinders on. You just can't see it. If you take a look around, you're depending on more people than you think on a daily basis. I wouldn't be sitting on a couch if the couch manufacturer did not do his job. I would not be sitting on a couch. So every time I'm sitting on this couch, I'm relying on him to continue to do his job. Human beings need other human beings. Need. I'm not talking about anything other than just simple respect for one another. I respect all human life. I understand how codependent we all are on one another. And yet at the same time, I understand how unique we all are. There's only one of me. As a human being, you need to do two things. You need to value yourself and you need to value other human beings. If you can do that, life has got some fruit and you're going to get to pick it. Your quality of life is enhanced by other people helping you. The more people on your team, the better. There's one race on this planet. It's the human race. We are all on the same team. We are all depending on one another each and every day, whether you realize it at the time or not. That's my opinion. It took me 68 years to form it, and now I'm on TV and I'm sharing it with you. I hope you'll share it with other people. I hope you'll sit down and explain it to your children. It's okay to disagree with people. It's okay to dislike people. But that doesn't mean that you're not dependent on them to do their job each and every day. Just because you dislike the guy at the electric company, don't mean you don't want electricity. Just because you dislike someone doesn't mean that they're lazy and they won't work. That may be your opinion, but you're the one with the blinders on. Take your blinders off. Take a look around. You're codependent on each and every human being on this planet. I bought coffee at the grocery store. It was made in Brazil. How many people am I depending on that I don't even know? The grower, the one that put it in the can, the one that shipped it, the one that stocked it on the grocery shelf. I'm dependent on all of them. Go buy a banana. 79 cents a pound is the price I saw in the grocery store yesterday. How many people does that 79 cents a pound employ? Have no way of knowing. Somebody grew it, somebody harvested it. Somebody picked it, right? I can't count the number of people, but I'm depending on them because I like bananas. Your fellow human being, whether you dislike him or not, goes in and does his job every day. You can rely on him. You can depend on him. He's proven it in the past. Give him the benefit of the doubt and accept him. You think you're better than him? You're wrong. You may have a different job title. You may have a different salary, but it don't make you better than him. You're the CEO of a major corporation. What happens if every employee in your corporation except you takes the day off tomorrow? You can't run the whole damn thing yourself. Now tell me again, how important are you? Yeah. Without the rest of us, you ain't shit. Without the rest of the human beings, you ain't worth diddly. Without the rest of humankind, your life is 1,000 times harder than it is. Right off the jump, I mean like that. If everybody isn't here and it's just you, good luck with that, son. Okay? It ain't gonna work. You need every human being on this planet. We can't afford to lose one. Why? Because they're all on our team. We are all working together trying to build our future. Even if you can't realize it today, every human being on this planet is on team human being. I'm so tired of seeing people diss each other. I'm really tired of it. You're a Republican and you're sitting there hating on Democrats. You can't survive without each and every one of those Democrats. Your life gets harder without them, you fool. Same thing, reverse it. Democrats. You want to badmouth the Republicans? They're on your team, you dumbass. Oh, you've got a sub team. Yeah. Blow it out your ass. Excuse me. But I'm sorry. It's absurd to hate your fellow human being. We're all working together. We're all codependent. We're all intertwined. It is what it is. Accept it. Move forward. Stop disrespecting one another. It's absurd to think that you could be doing without any race. I don't even know how many races there are on the planet. Subtract one, we all lose. All of us instantly lose. All of those people aren't going to work today. They're not doing their job. You just threw a monkey wrench in the system, you dumbass. Oh, I'm a Christian or I'm a Catholic. I don't respect the Muslims. You can't survive without the Muslims, you fool. They all go to work and do their job every day. Respect them for it. Your neighbor is not your punching bag. He's your ally. He's not your enemy. I don't care what news channel tells you that he's your enemy. They're lying. He goes to work every day. We're depending on him. I was reading I bought some tangerines the other day, and I read the label, made in Turkey. The man in Turkey went to work, did his job, and grew my tangerines. Thank God he did. I love that grower in Turkey. You what? Because I love those tangerines. They were good. I ate them all. I didn't let one go to waste. And that farmer in Turkey, whatever his name is, thank you. Thank you, brother. Those were some damn good tangerines. I'm so tired of hearing people diss one another. Just because you don't know them, just because they're not part of your family, just because they're not part of your little subgroup, or just because they're not part of your religion, or stop, think, use your brain. You can't function without him. We need him. He goes in and he does his job every day. We're depending on him and we don't even know him. You want your life to be easier? You want your life to be better? Start respecting every other human being on the planet. And let me take this to an extreme, and I'll tell you, you can't afford to kill one. I don't care if you think he's a bad guy. You can't afford to kill him. You need him. He's on the team. He's a human being. You need him. He could father a child. That father raises his kid. His kid gets educated. His kid goes on to discover a cure for cancer. How else are we going to cure the cancer if we can't raise that child? If we can't educate that child? You're dooming the human race. You're becoming the monkey wrench with your hatred because you don't like somebody. Get past it, you dumbass. Grow up. You need that fellow human being. Every race, every religion, it doesn't matter who they are or where they're from. They're human beings, and they're on the human being team. Just because you can't realize it, you're the one walking around with the blinders on. Take a look around. Our society does not function without all of us. If nobody goes to work, our society doesn't work. If nobody goes to work, our life gets harder. The news flash is everybody goes to work every day. Your neighbor is not your enemy. If you're an American, your fellow Americans are not your enemy. The Canadians are not your enemy. The Mexicans are not your enemy. The people that are telling you to hate, the people that are telling you to dislike, don't do business with them. They're the bad guys. Bullshit. They go to work every day. Every time you walk out your front door and everything goes according to plan, And now it's in the evening, you come back home, you come in your front door, 10,000 human beings that you never met, your life just depended on them that day. You never met them. You pick up the salt shaker, you shake out the salt. Some guy had to make the salt shaker. Another guy had to make the salt. You depended on them to do your job, or you would not have the convenience of a salt shaker with salt in it. All human beings depend on all human beings, and we're all on the same team. You need to value each and every life on this planet. You need to value your neighbor that you do not know. If he works at the electric company and he don't go to work, you don't have electricity. Without electricity, your life gets much more difficult. That's all I'm saying. I mean, feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. Straighten me out. Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm drinking a Gatorade. Thank God the Gatorade guy went to work. It sure is convenient. I couldn't drink this Gatorade without him. Explain to me, how am I supposed to make Gatorade? I don't even know what the hell's in it. I don't know how to make the bottle it came in. I don't even know where it was made. Sure is convenient to go into the grocery store and buy a 12-pack. Sure is convenient, my life. Sure is convenient how I'm codependent on a bunch of people. I have no idea who the hell they are. It's good Gatorade. I'm sorry, I went off. I ranted. Forgive me. My point is, we all need each other. More than we realize. We need to respect one another. We need to be tolerant of one another. I understand that you think differently than I do. I respect it. I appreciate it. I have a show. You can jump in the chat and give me your point of view anytime you feel comfortable doing it. The show's called Afternoon Chat, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The people in the chat are the guest stars of this show. Not me. I'm just a placeholder. A little bit of eye candy. Value all human life. Instead of spending time counting your enemies, why don't you sit around and count your friends? Why don't you recognize that all the other human beings are also working? Respect them for it. You rely on them every day. I know you don't realize it, but you do. There's one team on this planet. Team human being. The others are just sub-teams. They're little subgroups. There's only the one group that matters. You can't say one subgroup's better than another subgroup. They're equal. I'd like to thank everybody that's watching this show, especially when I go on these little rants. I appreciate you. If you want to be able to chat, go to youtube.com and download the Discord app. It's free. The show's free. The way I rant, I couldn't get a sponsor in here if I wanted to. Okay. The show's free. But I'm telling you that all the human beings on this planet are all on one team. Just one. Everything else, it's just a subcategory. And one subcategory is not going to be better than another subcategory. They're all equal. You may not see it, you may not realize it, but we're all on the same team. I don't care if you're eating caviar while I'm having peanut butter toast. We're all codependent. You can't eat your caviar without all those fishermen, without the food processors. I can't eat my toast without the bread maker. It's all intertwined. And it works. It's functional. Go figure. You turn on TV and they're telling you, oh, if you're in this group, you got to hate these guys. These are the bad guys. Those are the bad guys. They're all bad guys. None of them are bad guys. They're all good guys. I can't. It's not like there isn't a bad guy out there, because there is. But what I'm telling you, that bad guy this week is not going to be the bad guy next week. Human beings have faults. We all make mistakes. Get past it. Forgive them their mistakes. Forgive yourself for your mistakes. Try to function. Try to live your life without other human beings, and your life gets difficult. It becomes harder everything you try to do. When you include more human beings, when you let more people into your life gets easier, and a lot easier. Your life has comforts, it has advantages, it has treats and treasures. When we work together, human life is easier. When we work together, human life is more pleasurable. We get more joy when we don't have to work as hard. It's the little moments in life that matter. Let this be a little moment that teaches you it's not okay to hate. Don't be angry. Your anger builds nothing. Your hatred builds nothing. They only tear things down. Things that has taken our society hundreds of years to make. Your hatred is attempting to tear them down. Hatred is not the answer. Peaceful coexistence, mutual self-respect, mutual respect. Accept yourself and accept others equally. Just because you don't know that human being doesn't make them a bad person. You may not like the way they dress. You may not like the way they wear their hair. You may not like a lot of things about them, but you don't have to hate them. It's the hate that is the destructive force. It's the anger and the violence that is the negative. Our society has a set of laws, rules that we all must operate underneath that umbrella. Anytime you stray out of that umbrella, you're no longer in society. Now you're in trouble. You have to stay within the boundaries. Color inside the lines. That's what the rest of us are trying to do. Get along with everybody. A working relationship, that's all you need. If you can work side by side with someone, if you can peacefully coexist, you're doing it right. If you can't work side by side with someone else, who's got the problem? You do. Get past it. Grow up. The guy's not only on your team now, he was on your team yesterday, and he's going to be on your team tomorrow. He's a human being. He's on team human being. That's my opinion. Feel free to voice yours. Jump in the chat and straighten me out. Teach me a lesson. I want to learn. What I've learned thus far in my 68 years is that when I got human beings helping me, my life is better. And if you're not one of the helpers, then you're the hindrance. If you're the hindrance, it's your fault. You're the bad guy. You're the one that's not pulling his own weight. You're relying on other people and not allowing them to rely on you. Every one of us goes in and does our job every day. Every one of us deserves kudos for it. We're all being good team members, whether we realize it or not. The people that you see on TV that are telling you to hate, to fight, to ostracize one another, those aren't the good guys. Those are the bad guys. The more inclusive you are, the more people you let in, the easier your life gets. The NFL that I'm watching, they got a 53-man roster. How much easier would that be if they had a 90-man roster? Maybe we'd have less serious injuries. Maybe an NFL career could last more than 3 years. Maybe that's the problem, is they're not being inclusive enough. They're not allowing enough helpers on the team to accomplish their goals. You want to accomplish anything in this life, get help. Your workload becomes easier. Your task is easier to accomplish. I don't care what the task is. You want to build a bridge over that highway? Try doing it by yourself. Good luck with that, son. It ain't going to work. You'll be here 50 years and you won't have it done. You get some help, you can get it done in 50 days. It makes a huge difference. The more people on your team, the better off you are. There's one team of human beings on this planet. Act like you're on the team. It took me a long time to figure all this stuff out. It took me a long time to understand why being inclusive is better than being exclusive. When you keep other people out, when you don't allow them in, you're limiting your own capabilities. I can only do one amount of work, what I can handle. You give me 1,000 men, I can do a lot more. I'm just saying. Respect one another. Be tolerant of one another. That's all I'm saying. Live and let live. That neighbor of yours doesn't have to be on your team, even though he is. He doesn't have to be. You can kick him out. You can ostracize him. But it'll be your loss. He'll move to the next town. They'll welcome him with open arms. Here's your job. Here's your place to live. Thank you for being on the team. You're going to lose. Every time you kick a human being out, it's your loss. That human being has something to offer. He can help you in one way or another, even if you can't see it. The clothes that are on your back, I'm willing to bet money you didn't make them. So you're depending on other human beings. Think about that. Next time you get dressed, thank God that guy went into work and did his job so that you could have that shirt, that pair of pants. You should be thankful of one another, not hating one another. Personal opinion. All right, I'll shut up about it now. I'm sorry. The comforts that we have in life are real. The second that they're gone, you realize it right quick. We had a tornado go through here 2 years ago, through this complex in Southwest Michigan. We went 5 days with no power. Or no, it was 3 days without power. It was 5 days without internet. That's what it was. Yeah, I learned to appreciate electricity real quick. When the sun went down, it was pitch black in this apartment. You could not see 6 inches in front of your face. There was no light anywhere. Power was out and the sun went down. It was a shock because you could go outside, look up, and actually see the stars. There was no light pollution. The light pollution washes out the stars. If you want to see how many stars are there, get out of town. Go somewhere where there aren't people, where there is no city, and look up. Those billions of stars are always there. We just don't see them due to the light pollution. They've always been there. I learned a lot during that tornado. Without electricity, we're right back into the caves. That's what my apartment felt like, was a cave. Personal experience grooms you, educates you, teaches you. The older you get, the more you learn. I got one for you. Teach your children until they can teach you. I learn things from my sons all the time. And I pat myself on the back every time they teach me something. Give kudos where kudos are due. I had those kids. I helped raise those kids. I'm taking credit for it. Okay? Teach your children until your children can teach you. That should be the story of the success of humankind. Children are awesome. They're hard work, but they're worth it. In the long run, they're worth it. I look back on my 30s when I was raising kids, and I was like not getting any sleep. I was wore out, run down. I mean, rode hard, put away wet. Okay. I appreciate every time I talk to my sons. It just warms my heart. I appreciate them so much. I'm glad I worked that hard. Talk about rewards. Okay. Children can be very rewarding, especially when you get them and they're smarter than you are. Okay. That's nice, in my opinion. Like and subscribe the channel if you could. It will help the algorithm somehow, some way. Those at YouTube are wiser than I. Afternoon chat, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. An inclusive channel. Everyone is welcome. Even if you disagree with me. It's a free channel. No midstream ads, no sponsors, no commercials of any kind. Well, other than this is a commercial, I guess, telling you about the show. Wow. Now I've confused myself. That's interesting. It's free. I'm not asking you to buy anything. That's my point. Okay. I'm not trying to become an online influencer. You won't find me on any other platforms other than YouTube. I'm not running for political office. I'm simply just trying to talk to people and give people a chance to be heard. Your opinion matters, and your opinion will be respected. We do need to follow the community guidelines that are established by YouTube. When they're the only platform we're on, we don't want to piss them off, right? Okay. Work with me here now. Okay. Let's stay in YouTube's good graces, and yet we can still have a conversation. There's no set topics. There's no script. Each show is unique and different. I leave them posted. You can go back and see every one of them. Good, bad, or ugly. I'm leaving them there so that you can see them, see what was been said. It's your choice what you do with your time. I do want you to know that I appreciate you watching. Give kudos where kudos are due. Anytime you see someone doing a good job, tell them they're doing a good job. It's good for them to hear it. Some people have problems with self-esteem, especially this time of the year, holiday season. A lot of people fall for depression and they get sad. A lot of people feel alone. Help each other out. Give kudos where kudos are due. Take that extra moment to tell someone that they're doing a wonderful job and that you appreciate them and that you noticed they were going above and beyond. It's one of the things I learned as a supervisor in the casino industry. You got to let people know when they're doing a good job. You can't just yell at them when they're doing bad, when they make a mistake. You've got to applaud them when they're doing something right. If you applaud the people when they're doing things right, guess what? It makes their day. It helps them out. It reinforces their actions. Sometimes these things compound. You tell someone that they're doing a good job, they're in turn going to tell someone else that they've done a good job. Wouldn't it be nice if we all could hear that we've done a good job each and every day? I know it doesn't work that way, but wouldn't it be nice if it did? I appreciate the viewers. I appreciate up yours. Who cares? My brother, friend of the channel, gets in and chats, speaks his mind. I respect him for it. He was the star of today's show. He's the only one that was in the chat all day. You can chat. You're not required to. I make no demands on you. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to make demands and tell you you have to do this or do that. I do need you to like and subscribe, but it's not required. If you don't want to do it, don't sweat it. Someone else will. Someone else in the human race will pick up your slack. That's what we do. We help each other out. We fill in for one another where we can. We all try to do our part. We're all on the same team. I wish Fox News would start every broadcast by telling all of their viewers that there's one team. The human race is one team. We're all on it. Each life has value. Yours has value, mine has value, theirs has value. We are all codependent on one another, and we just don't think of it on a daily basis. We don't realize how intertwined our lives really are. If you couldn't dress yourself without making your own clothing, you'd understand what I'm saying. Making clothing is difficult. Sewing is a skill I do not possess. Think about that. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you for watching. Thanks. Our star today, Up Yours, Who Cares? Okay. That's his screen name. Okay. And I respect him for it. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. Come see me tomorrow. I'll be in at 3. The show will be here. We're reliable. We're dependable. We will be here. I hope you are too. If you're always nice to everybody, it's my belief that all that kindness, all that niceness will come back to you tenfold. If you don't believe me, try it. I'm here to tell you, Ghost Mostly says, and I swear to it, be nice to everyone. You'll like the end result. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice, safe, wonderful evening. Do something nice for somebody. I dare you. Bye.